Okay, picture this. You've just spent a small fortune completely upgrading your kitchen. You've wiped down the pristine, futuristic glass of your brand new induction cooktop, and you're ready to cook a celebratory meal. So you reach for your absolute favorite, trusty aluminum skillet, or maybe that pure copper pan you love. You place it on the sleek surface, turn on the heat, and absolutely nothing happens. The stove flashes an error, the pan stays ice cold, and I've been there, it's the worst. Your dinner plans are instantly ruined.
It is such a painful realization, right? Upgrading to a sleek new induction cooktop often means discovering that your prized copper skillets, those thick aluminum stock pots, or that specialty mocha pot you brought back from vacation, well, they just no longer work. In today's explainer, we're going to break down exactly why this happens. And more importantly, we're going to dig into the incredibly popular market hacks designed to save those old pans. But fair warning, as we'll soon uncover, some of these magic solutions might actually be destroying your shiny new appliance. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to hit the induction problem, look at the actual science of induction, examine the popular workarounds, reveal the hidden heating dangers, and finish up with how to properly protect your cooktop. Let's get right into it. Part 1, the induction problem, which is basically a magnetic mystery playing out right in your kitchen. Let's look at why your food is being left completely cold. It turns out this whole issue boils down to atomic structure. It's actually fascinating. Take aluminum, for example. Its atoms have paired electrons in their outer shell, which essentially cancel out any individual magnetic fields. It's what we call paramagnetic, meaning it just cannot generate a strong magnetic interaction. But then look at iron. Iron is ferromagnetic. It has unpaired electrons that create a really strong, aligned magnetic field. Basically, if a magnet sticks firmly to the bottom of your pan, it's ferromagnetic and it's ready for induction. If it doesn't stick, well, it is virtually invisible to your new stove. Moving on to part 2, the science of induction, or as I like to call it, cutting out the middleman. Think about it like this. With traditional electric or gas stoves, the stove gets hot first, right? And then it transfers that heat to the pot. Induction cuts out that middleman entirely. There's actually a coil of copper wire hidden beneath the heat-proof glass of your stove. When you turn it on, it sends an alternating electric current through that coil, which creates an oscillating electromagnetic field. So when you place a ferromagnetic pan into that field, it induces an electrical current, specifically eddy currents, right inside the metal of the pan itself. The metal naturally resists this current, and that resistance converts the electrical energy directly into heat. There's zero open flame, the pan literally becomes its own heating element. That is exactly why induction is so incredibly fast and efficient. Naturally, a whole industry has sprung up to help you save your non-magnetic cookware. That brings us to part 3, popular workarounds and market hacks. If you have an aluminum or a pure copper pan you just can't part with, the most common solution you'll see online is the induction interface disc. People also call them adapter plates or converter discs. It's basically just a flat, heavy piece of magnetic stainless steel. You slap it down onto the glass cooktop, and then you sit your non-magnetic pan right on top of it. These things are flying off the shelves because they act as a portable heating element to bridge that magnetic gap. But if you think about it, it's kind of ironic, right? You're buying a separate slab of metal just to trick your own state-of-the-art stove. What's really interesting here is how specific solutions have been tailored to specific metals. Take pure copper. You usually have to use one of those converter discs. However, high-end culinary brands got creative. DeBuyer, for instance, created their premium material line by actually bonding a 0.2 millimeter thick layer of ferromagnetic stainless steel right to the base of their copper pans, making them instantly compatible right out of the box. For aluminum, you're stuck using an interface disc unless you buy modern aluminum pans that have a steel plate integrated into the bottom at the factory. And good old cast iron? It works perfectly all on its own because of its massive iron content. Though, as we'll see, its rough texture means you definitely want to protect your glass from scratches. But right here is where we need to make a dramatic pivot. Because these magic bullet solutions, they have a serious dark side. Let's look at part 4, hidden heating dangers. By wedging a metal disc between the stove and your pan, you are completely abandoning the core benefit of induction technology. You're no longer inducing heat directly into the cooking vessel. Instead, you're forcing the stove to heat up a completely separate slab of steel, and then you're just sitting there waiting for that steel to slowly, inefficiently transfer its heat into your aluminum pan through simple physical contact. You've literally reverted a high-tech kitchen marvel right back into a retro 50-year-old Hopley. 8 minutes. That's how long it can take just to boil a standard pot of water when you use a converter disc.
To put that into perspective, if you used proper, directly compatible induction cookware, that exact same amount of water reaches a rolling boil in just a minute and a half. Think about that loss of efficiency. The disk is desperately trying to push heat up into a non-responsive pan, and in the process, you're just wasting electricity, radiating heat out into the surrounding air of your kitchen instead of into your food.
And let's walk through how this thermal mismatch builds into a potentially damaging problem for your appliance. See, induction stoves have internal thermal sensors located just beneath the glass to prevent overheating. When you use an adapter disc, that bare steel gets incredibly hot incredibly fast, way faster than a normal pot full of liquid ever would. Your stove's sensor detects this intense, localized heat. Meanwhile, the actual pan sitting on top is still relatively cold, creating a massive thermal lag. The stove essentially panics, assumes the element is dangerously overheating, and shuts down prematurely just to protect its own glass. So right at the exact moment you need heat transferring to your food, your stove actively turns itself off. Because of these crazy frustrations, people turn to the internet and try some really wild things. I want to rapid fire off some DIY methods you absolutely must avoid. First, never use layers of aluminum foil to try and capture the magnetic field. It is so thin that it can literally melt directly onto your glass top and destroy it. Second, don't slide heavy cast iron around. Any stray salt or grit under there will carve permanent scratches right into the ceramic glass. Never put paper or cloth underneath a pan to prevent those scratches, because if the pan gets hot enough, they can easily ignite. And get this, some people actually try putting a steel disc inside their non-magnetic pot, sitting right in the liquid. This fails miserably. The non-ferrous bottom of the pot acts as a barrier, shielding the magnetic field. Plus, most modern stoves have pot recognition sensors. They simply won't turn on if they don't detect the correct electromagnetic feedback from the pot's exterior.
So if converter discs are a bad idea and internet DIY hacks are actively dangerous, how are we actually supposed to protect this expensive appliance? Let's check out our final section: safe accessories for glass hobs. Enter the silicone hob protector. These mats are absolutely brilliant. Why? Because they are completely invisible to the magnetic field. You can place them directly onto the glass, put your cast iron or induction ready pan right on top of the mat, and just start cooking. They do not block the induction process whatsoever. But what they do is stop heavy pans from sliding, prevent cast iron from scratching the glass, and catch annoying splatters. Just a quick heads up though, they are usually heat resistant up to about 250 degrees Celsius, so you probably shouldn't use them if you're blasting the absolute maximum searing heat. Sticking to a few simple rules ensures your cooking surface stays looking brand new without compromising the tech you paid for. Always, always lift your pots. Never drag or slide them. If you don't have a silicone mat handy, you can actually use a sheet of parchment paper or even a paper towel beneath the pan to catch splatters, provided you're cooking on medium heat. Remember, induction doesn't use open flames. Just keep a close eye on your temperatures. Also, clean any spills immediately with simple soap and water once the surface cools down, and totally avoid abrasive scrubbers that will ruin the finish. But above all else, stick to flat-bottomed, properly induction-ready pans for maximum efficiency. And I want to leave you with this ultimate warning regarding those adapter discs we talked about. If you continuously use thick metal discs that trap massive amounts of heat right against the glass, tricking and bypassing those safety sensors, you risk permanently scarring your cooktop. That localized intense heat can literally bake the glass itself. We're talking permanent, unremovable, white, gray, or brown burn spots, often called a gray trail or a white shadow in the industry. Imagine completely ruining a beautiful multi-$1,000 cooktop with a cheap $20 metal disc from the internet. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought. Is holding on to a $20, completely incompatible aluminum pan really worth enduring an 8-minute wait just to boil water, let alone the very real risk of permanently destroying a premium induction stove? Sometimes letting go of the old and upgrading your tools really is the only safe way forward. Thanks for exploring this topic with me, and happy cooking.